Hey there.
Hey.
Hey there.
Hey.
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 Hey. What's the matter for you? Hey.
Hey there. Welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits, coming to you from the Recycle Garage in sunny Santa Cruz, California. And today was another great day in the garage.
It was.
Except there was a mishap with a pear, but we will get to that. Hey everyone.
Nice pear.
This is Liza, and I'm the proud owner of the pear tree in question.
Therein
committed
lies
a
the problem.
crime.
It was a crime against you. It was a crime against my purse.
Well, let's just get to the sultry tones of Miss Emma, the victim of the pear tree's crime. Emma, all I know is I looked over and it looked like you had vomited in your purse.
Your tree had vomited in my purse. And God, there was so much of it.
And if you go to our Instagram, you can see your own picture of it.
Full disclosure, our chairs outside of the garage do sit underneath the pear tree. And I have been warning people, it's pear season, heads up.
Right. And of course, these things are rotting on the tree. So when they fall off, I mean, I'm not sure what would be worse, whether you get this nice, plump, firm pear hitting you on the noggin, or this just disgusting piece of rotten fruit. And Evelyn actually got one down her back. Ooh. But no, probably about a pound's worth of rotten pear fell into my purse. And it was on my keys and my wallet and just everywhere. It was disgusting.
I got a picture.
Yes,
of
you
the
did.
Purse.
Mm-hmm. And it does.
It looks like someone vomited.
It really did.
bad.
And it
You
smelled.
shouldn't have had that last gin and tonic.
Anyway.
Confession time, I have vomited in my purse.
Funny, because I vomited in your purse, too.
Yeah, I know that. But that was pretty fetish kind of thing, wasn't it?
It was.
Also in the room, running the board, it's Stumpy John.
What's up, everybody?
Stumper.
And John, we saw 3 of my favorite things all in one place this week.
We did.
Yes. Oh, Bagel, you missed it.
You did.
Yeah. And of course, Bagel's here in
person.
studio.
I am in the house.
Yeah, so
Yep.
I was trying to keep it a surprise, but then the only guy who rode a Vespa today, he was leaving. I'm like, you can't leave. And I was trying to mouth to him. And he's like, what? I'm like,
What?
Bagel's on his way here. Just about like 15 minutes before you got here.
Yeah.
No, so we went to the county fair.
Yes,
And
we did.
3 of my favorite things. It was meat on a stick, monster trucks, and motocross, all in one place.
Wow.
Yeah, and me and Megan came out with the boys,
The boys made
and-
it so much fun.
and John and Mrs. Stumpy, and the boys were like, they're what, 2 and 3 now, right?
Yeah.
And they were just had this excitement as these trucks are like, "Blah," you know.
Yeah, we were in the front row, too.
They
so
didn't
were
even
right
care
in
about
front
the
of us.
motocross bikes. They see that all the time.
Right.
These monster trucks, and they're just like dancing and like, oh,
Can't contain themselves.
they were charged.
Super fun.
Wow.
And then meat on a stick. I mean, really, what better combination
And
do you
chickens.
get?
Chickens.
But that
Meat-
doesn't-
no,
doesn't
meat
start
on
with
a-
an M. Meat on a stick,
Meat on a
monster
stick.
trucks, and motocross.
Yeah.
Perfect evening.
Yeah.
There you go.
But there were complaints. And, you can have them here
Which ones?
about how not the greatest organized event.
It was a bit of a
Yes.
shit show.
And
Yeah, when you have a bunch of volunteers.
yeah, and it's always a problem. But at the end of the day, did you have fun?
Yeah, and as John said it, the boys really
Oh, it made it so much fun. Yeah.
Just seeing that excitement. I mean, it's just like when Bagel sees a scooter. So he does the same little happy dance.
Yep.
The same enthusiasm. I wanted to make some announcements at the beginning of this show
Oh, I think you should.
because I realized we're already like making all these plans for like next year and stuff. So first off, hey, look, You take some of these with you, Bagel.
Oh,
we got the cards for our rally.
The rally.
Rally, our Misfits rally, April 18th through 21st. And you can sign up for it at
that really kicks off our season, doesn't it?
breakingawayadventures.com. No, we usually go to the one show.
Well, and also desert season for us.
Oh, no, I think the one show's after that, sweetie.
No, there's AIM Expos first.
There you go.
Oh,
That's
AIM
the
Expo.
start of our season, is the AIM Expo.
Yep.
But we're hoping people come and join us at our rally. It's going to be at Hollister Hills again. So it's really suitable for any bikes but a sport bike.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I mean, Emma, you made it work. The riding outside of the park.
Yeah,
it's glorious.
Coming down that one hill.
And that's largely why I brought Rufus, because the riding is so good around Hollister. And I actually managed to get in by taking the exit both in and out. Yeah,
just coming in, there's a downhill gravel road that was a bit sketchy for your sport bike. But it's all bikes and scooters. Welcome.
Yep.
Bagel, you have it on your calendar?
It is now.
Yeah.
And I mean, the thing I want to point out is, as much as we are, the podcast itself is, you could argue it's R-rated. The weekend is very much a family event, and it's perfectly safe. There's,
as long as Naked Jim gets his pants on.
No, he'll keep his pants on. But yeah, if you got kids and you want to come up for the weekend, it's entirely suitable for children. We always have a good time.
Yep.
There's always plenty going on. Highlight, of course, is being served breakfast by Miss Emma on the final day.
It's the best part of the weekend.
Yeah, we'll go with that. That was the best part.
No, it was the highlight, being handed a lukewarm burrito, saying, "Bugger off."
But for people who want to put things on their calendar, John, we've decided our Pakistan trips next year, we're splitting them up.
We are, yeah.
When is your trip?
My trip is essentially the first 2 weeks of June. Actually, I think you need to be there on the 30th of May. And then back on the 13th, I believe.
And yours is the Lost Tribe? Or Days Around the Mighty? No. Oh, you're not on there.
I was on there.
Well, you're not on there now. Anyway, I'll go ahead and I'm going to promote Chickistan because I'm doing something different this year with Chickistan. So Chickistan this year or next year is September 14th through 28th. But I'm using the same rules as we did with Women Riders World Relay, which, if you recall, was a ride for women, but men were not excluded. Men were allowed to sign up and come as a support person, as a companion to one of the women riders. And I'm doing the same thing on this trip. So it's not a co-ed trip, but men are welcome. If a woman signs up and wants to bring their companion, who's male, they are welcome to come.
Okay.
Don't you think that's a good?
No, I think that's a good good compromise to make sure everyone's happy with it. I think that's great.
Exactly. So if anyone is interested in coming on the trip, and you can partner, you can bring your partner, or your women can come solo. Go to adifferentagenda.com. And John, when is your trip? You said May?
Yeah, it's May 30th through June 13th.
All right.
And then we have the Dolomites trip, which we've yet to finalize the exact date. It is going to be sometime in early July. And then its natural companion, Castles and Curves, will be immediately afterwards. So I'm guessing, and it depends on the riding season. You see, the thing is, Leod Escapes does a lot of track day tours. And my tour, which doesn't involve track days, is kind of squeezed in between times. So that's why we're flexible with the time. But as soon as I know an exact date, it's going to be early in July. And then you can do Castles and Curves or Dolomites or both or none.
Yeah, John, I found yours. It's May 29th to June 12th.
Yep, that's right. So if you want to join that, look for go to differentagenda.com for either Liza's or mine. And for mine, look at the Lost Tribe, and for Liza's, look at Chickistan.
So there's a lot going on. But of course, we're going to have our usual things. We're going to, I'm assuming, one show and
Yeah, the usual.
Vintage days, all that.
Well, we're also going to be, Jim and I, Scotty, and perhaps others are going to be in the desert. And anybody's welcome to come on the 18th through the 22nd of October. We're going to be in Johnson Valley now. We're going to camp. So if anybody wants to come to that, make sure to drop us an email or a Facebook message or something.
Where is Johnson Valley?
It's down by you. It's generally the Mojave.
Yeah, I was going to say
generally the
Mojave.
It's over sort of between like the Mojave and Joshua Tree.
Okay.
Cool.
Pretty
So,
neck
yeah.
of the woods.
It's beautiful.
Make plans. So, I wanted to let's talk a little bit about the garage today. Emma, you are on fire.
Ay, fuego.
You
Push them in, right amount.
You fixed the Amigo.
Finally.
So the Amigo, my little Trail 70 clone, and I want to say full disclosure, that was one of the things that I was looking forward in buying it. That you're gonna have to like fix things and make it better. It's a bike you can tinker on, right?
Yes.
But it's had this fuel supply issue that
Forever.
at first it was clogging the fuel filters and the carburetor from gunk that was in the fuel. But I pulled out the whole tank, cleaned it, rinsed it. The fuel filter's clean.
Yes.
But it's still, if you go and ride it for any distance, like a few blocks, it would die and people would have to push it back. Mm-hmm. We couldn't figure out what it was. And it happened again today.
And full disclosure, I've never really worked on this bike up to this point. I've always been doing other things or, blah, blah, blah. So I thought I'll take the bull by the horns because Knock wanted to go out with his child Dylan, who's been hanging out with us.
Not Dylan, Sullivan.
Sullivan. Why did I call her Dylan? Sullivan is a child, very nice child, who wanted to go out riding. And, of course, I can't bear
the reason why Knock isn't here most Sundays. He's
Yes.
hanging out with Sullivan.
Sullivan. And, of course, I can't bear to see a child disappointed. So I thought, well, I'll take the bull by the horns and I'll actually try and fix this thing. So I dismantled the entire fuel supply. And I thought, there's nothing really wrong with this. But I wasn't getting a decent flow out of the fuel line.
And Knock and I, we'd pulled the hose that comes from the tank down to the fuel filter, and gas came pouring out.
But then stopped.
But not while we tested it. I think that was
Right.
the length of the hose.
Exactly. And
you held it open longer than
and I
that.
held it open, really wanted to see a flow. And it kind of stopped. And I heard this kind of, this gurgling. And I thought, this tank isn't venting properly. Mm-hmm. So I took the cap off and it appeared to be a venting cap. And if you blew through it in a certain way, you could say, well, it's venting. But I didn't. I kind of blew through it a slightly different way. And it was clearly clogged. So I just got busy with a very, very tiny drill and vented it. And now, the gas is coming out like gangbusters.
Vapor lock.
Yeah, it's just vapor locking. Because, of course, if you think about it, as the level inside the tank drops, the fuel has to be replaced by something. It has to be replaced by air.
It couldn't supply the...
So it couldn't...
Right.
Yeah, so it was forming a vacuum as it was going down. It's quite a simple fix in the end, and now, of course, the thing runs great.
But then people would walk it back, and by the time I'd check it, there was fuel there
Right,
again.
because, the vacuum had gone by the wayside.
Yeah, but this bike has, because it's a modern bike, it has an evap system. So it should allow air to come in through the evap system. But I think that's where the problem is. The evap system got clogged at some point, probably when the bike got tipped over. And it's not venting through the evap system anymore.
Well, hang on, Bagel.
Oh, yes.
Oh, hang on.
Ooh.
Did you dig in there?
Yes. So you've got to remember that the Amigo is a bike that's very much made to a budget.
Yes.
By
Very much.
a large country and the, Asia.
Yes.
And the evap system doesn't encroach on the fuel tank at all.
Oh, really?
I suspect the evap system on this bike is largely there just to appease
well, this
lawmakers.
is the California model.
Yes.
Right. But
So it has a hose that's connected to somewhere on the carburetor that looks like it's doing
not
something.
there is no vent on the tank.
Okay.
So there you go.
Gotcha.
So
So and Knock took Sully for a ride.
Yeah, and it was great, wasn't it?
They came back, and she's like, "Can we go again?"
Well, Sullivan scored with a beautiful helmet.
She did, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
So,
well, so did, let's give a shout out to Clay from First Rides.
yep.
He came by and we had 2 totes of dirt bike gear for him to take.
Awesome.
Which it's also, I mean, this is kind of what Recycle Garage does. Everything gets played forward. The gear actually arrived at Mototown as a donation from dear friend of mine, Donovan, who I'm actually going to Vietnam with in the fall with Big Sur Motorcycle Adventures. And he said, "Oh, take it down the Recycle Garage." So I took it down the Recycle Garage, of course, as one does. And the gannets picked over it. And then any of the stuff that was left, I thought, this is perfect for first rides. Because there was some very, very small child-sized stuff in there. So we called up Clay. And it's always nice seeing Clay. He's a good egg. And he came down and grabbed all the stuff for first rides. Mm-hmm. Cool. Which is, if you don't know what First Rides is, it's a completely voluntary organisation that puts very, very small children on motorcycles and teaches them how to ride dirt bikes.
Actually, all ages children.
Well, it's all
up
ages.
to 18, yeah.
But children with no experience. And it's a very... Clay runs a pretty tight ship, and it's a very caring and loving environment. Because you're dealing with kids. And he said, in the past he had some professional instructors who actually got a little bit yelly with the kids. And he's like, "Oh, no, that won't do. You just got to nip that in the bud straight away." So they do everything in-house now. They're very, very kind to the children. And there's some real knowledge there. So it's a great organisation.
I was thinking of joining, but I just wanted to go to yell at children.
Yeah, and that would make you unsuitable, Liza.
Dang it.
But you could yell encouragement. You could say,
yell at my son Sam anytime you want.
You could start Uncle Liza's Tough Love Motorcycle Camp.
"Oh, the boot camp." Yes.
But then we had another person show up with an interesting thing today. First time in the garage, Janine.
Yes, Janine.
Yep. And I had gotten a call from her saying, "Hey, are you only open on Sundays?" And someone told me to come here. And I'm like, "Yeah, come on down." So she showed up on an 80s Honda Express. For people who don't know what this is, can you describe it, Emma?
So the Honda Express was a very, very interesting concept. It was pitched, it's a 50cc bike. It's actually pitched as a moped in Europe.
Yeah.
And its primary target was for boys and girls slightly more mature who were looking for a real alternative to get around town to a car. So it's got slightly larger wheels, it's automatic transmission, it's very easy to ride.
No pedals.
No pedals.
Has foot pegs, but I'm going to describe it. It looks like a bar stool with wheels.
I would say that's quite fair.
That's about right.
The seat looks like a bar stool seat.
It's also up on our Instagram if you want to see that there.
Yeah. Great little thing. Very interesting Kickstart arrangement. So
we were all confused. We've never seen this before.
Oh, I've seen it many times.
You have, but like me, Doug, Knock, we're all staring. So she kicked it slowly 3 times and then hit the throttle.
No, it's the brake. The brake.
Release the brake and hit the throttle.
Yes, and that.
And it went, and we're like, "What? Wait, what is she doing? What happened? What's going on?"
So, Honda are always looking for the edge to give a motorcycle to somebody who has just got no experience. And starting a motorcycle, surprisingly, even a small one, is quite intimidating for some people. I mean, there's a whole list. What is intimidating on motorcycles? And noise is one of them. Kickstarting a motorcycle is another one. Well, of course, that's gone by the wayside now. Clutches are another one. And, you know, there's this list of things that people find intimidating. So Honda are thinking to themselves, well, let's take these out of the equation. And electric starts cost money. And they require a battery and they require all the shit that goes with it. And so they came up with a very, very easy means of starting a bike that you don't need a great amount of lower body strength to do so.
Yeah.
And so what you have to imagine when you depress what is in effect the primary starter on the bike, which looks like a Kickstarter, but it's really quite a long lever, you're winding a clock spring. And that's how it works. It's almost like winding a clock.
Yeah.
And you can hear it go, rrrt, 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 and you're winding this spring. And then when you pull the rear brake, it releases it and turns the engine.
Oh, so you don't release the rear brake, you pull the rear brake.
Pull the rear brake, that's the safety.
And it releases it, and then you whack the throttle at the same time.
When you release the clock spring, it spins a gear, which engages with the flywheel and starts the bike.
Did anyone else use this? Because, I mean, is this not practical in a larger displacement bike that's hard to kickstart?
The only time I've come across in the whole of the automotive world a similar method was back in the 1960s. If you bought a Chrysler or a Dodge, it came with a clock. But it wasn't a 12-volt clock. The 12 volts from the battery actually ran a little motor which wound the clock. And then the clock tick, 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 tick. And then when it stopped, it engaged and the motor wound the clock again. And that's the only time I've ever come across anything similar.
Wow.
Have you, any scooters have this method of winding it up?
I don't know of any. That doesn't, it's not familiar to me, but it's kind of ingenious.
It's a brilliant design because it doesn't require any lower body strength. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything sexist like it's a girl because, there's plenty of guys out there who've got no lower body strength as well. But it's perfect if you've got a little bit of a disability, if you're very, very small. A lot of times, kickstarting a bike, you need a certain amount of strength, a certain amount of inertia to actually start it.
And in some bikes, you're putting yourself at risk of grave injury, too. Right.
So this, where you just wind it up, and it was a foolproof system. It rarely went wrong. There was plenty of other things that went wrong on those little bikes, but the starter wasn't one of them.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. So she came in with it not running. She pushed
No,
it in, right?
She looked very sad.
And I guess she said, I was told I need to clean my carbs.
Yeah.
Or carb.
Yes.
So Douglas jumped to help, and carb came off pretty quick and easy.
Well, she was a pretty girl. Of course Doug jumped to help.
And he went and cleaned it. He says it wasn't really dirty. He said, but sometimes just taking something apart, shooting air through it, and putting it back together does the job.
Right.
But it seems like that wasn't it, because then he put it back together and he did the little starting thing. It still wasn't working. And then he's like, Emma!
Yes, I know.
And what did you find on that?
So Doug did 99% of it, and I just brought it home. It just needed a little bit of careful fettling. That's all it needed. Just needed a little bit of TLC. What people fail to understand is a carburetor is a precision instrument, and the smallest adjustment can make a big difference. And the carburetor basically just needed bringing home. Somebody had over-adjusted it because, of course, what happens when the carburetor starts failing, you turn up the idle and you do this and you do this. And it needed all that undoing, which is why it's revving so high. Mm-hmm. And I got it really just by a little bit of tinkering.
You diddled it.
I diddled it, and it ran great.
Oh, my gosh. You took off and started doing little loops around the parking lot. That thing, was it as fast as the Amigo?
Oh, yeah. Because there's no weight to it at all.
Right.
And yeah, it's only a 50cc, but very, very lightweight. Didn't weigh much more than a bicycle, off you go.
Was it 50 or an 80?
No, it's a 50.
50, okay.
It's
wow.
50. Yeah.
Pretty zippy for a 50.
Yeah, zippy little thing.
And she left just with a grin and a new helmet.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
She got a full face helmet because Micah was like, I see you're wearing an open face helmet with no eye protection.
Yeah.
as she does. And Micah took her into the gear room and found her helmet. She was stoked, beaming grin as she whisked away on that thing.
But I mean, again, that's what we do here.
But it was that moment too where everybody was standing around and like I think we were all feeling good. Even people that didn't help at all. We all felt good. Like this is why we're here.
Right.
This is why we're here. Somebody came in, pushed it in, and rode away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were on fire, unlike John.
What did I do? Wait a second. What?
Look,
you just broke things.
Every single person who's involved with a recycle garage brings something to the table. Every single person. And that's what makes us, such a great organization, because there's so many different characters, there's so many different people who bring different things. That's what makes it all so wonderful.
Oh, and and I wanted to comment real quick. I was showing Emma about something that I built. And I have this this small fairing I put onto the Triumph Scrambler.
Yeah.
That mounts, it's just a universal, and it mounts using basically the bolts that go into the headlight, But I found, because the headlight is rubber mounted, that when I got up to speed, the wind would push the windshield, which would then turn the headlight up.
Ooh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. So I was trying to devise a way to reinforce it. Emma, you had discovered this before. Well, I wasn't even there because I came home and there was some rod stuck on there.
I was taking the subtle approach, and I put this forward-facing rod with like a pad on the end of it between the Speedo and the tacho, and it looked great, but it lasted about 3 minutes and then fell apart. But you did something a little smarter, because you've got a cross brace on the handlebar. And
well, yeah, what I did was I just got some tubing and some clamps and then some right angle aluminum, and I basically made some supports that come off of the handlebars, clamped to the handlebars.
I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah.
Surely you mean aluminium.
Yeah, no, I don't. And then go up to some. I use some right angle aluminum so that some big flat spots against the windshield, and drilled some holes and put some adhesive, double-sided tape. Pretty simple. But here's the thing I kind of wanted to talk about, because I don't think that we do this enough, and I don't think enough people do this. I was able to fabricate using some simple pieces of metal and simple tools. I used a Dremel tool with a cutting wheel.
Right.
I used a drill to drill some holes. I used my vise to flatten the ends of the tubing.
Very simple hand tools.
Very, very simple things, and a file.
Yes.
And I did it on Saturday when no one was around, where I had time in the garage. But I mean, Bagel, maybe you experience this too, when you're designing something very simple to perform a simple function, but you're taking the time to round the corners, to file the burrs off, to smooth, edges, and to put some craftsmanship into
make it nice.
And I think that is something that a lot of people don't realize how much they can do with simple tools, or take the time to create something. And I'm fortunate in that I grew up in a time when we had metal shop in my junior high school. And the things that I learned in junior high, I still apply today.
Sure.
How to file is something many people don't know how to do. Very simple. That light touch, forward motion. And I just wanted to try and encourage people, because you do this all the time, Emma. You're like, oh, yes, I took a tank from this bike and side covers from this bike and a seat from this bike and a caliper from this bike, and I put them all together. And I'm like, all of those things require fabrication for a mount that no one will see.
And my obsession with detail is also in a lot of ways my greatest downfall. My dear friend Mike McCarthy, he always said, the problem is with the bikes I build, when you just look at it, you don't realize how modified they are because everything looks so cohesive and looks
Moto Guzzi for sure.
Yeah, everything looks cohesive, everything looks factory. And you don't realize just what a modified bike it is. And so, of course, if you're at a show, you just walk on by because you think, yeah, that's a stock Guzzi as an example. What's that doing here? And then you get somebody who knows Guzzis and like, what the hell is that thing?
Yep.
It's like, yeah, it's a California. It's, well, I don't look like a California. Well, because I used the tank off this and the side panels off this and the seat off this and I made this. So, but I've always, like you, Liza, I took shop in school and I learned the techniques and I learned how to file properly. And, rather than just have a bit of cut angle iron, just put a bit of niceness on it. Put the nice curve on it, make it look pretty, give it a lick of paint, make it look like it belongs there.
Yeah.
I think part of it too is knowing what's available. Walking around a hardware store, just looking at things, looking at tubing, looking at unistrut, just all the things that are there that you can imagine and incorporate into the builds.
Mm-hmm. And this is how we kind of got back to it, because if you were to ask me when I'm building a bike what my greatest gift is, what my greatest asset is from the very, very first day I start the build, I can close my eyes and I can see the finished bike. And it might not be the color it ends up at, but I can close my eyes and just imagine exactly how the finished bike is going to sit, what the bars are going to be, with the way the pipes are going to lay, the way the tank's going to lay, the seat. And from that point forward, it becomes very easy for me because I just follow that vision. I've got it locked into my head. And when you build a bike, something like the Guzzi, you concentrate on details and it's all about the details. But there's this huge amount of value in taking 5 steps back and looking how it sits.
Well, and that's the thing too. I spent more time figuring out how it was going to work. Like you could use flat bar, but then how do you attach the flat bar from here and then to the thing? And that's when I decided round tubing, because then I can flatten the ends, drill a hole through it. But you can flatten the ends at any angle.
Mm-hmm. And because it's round tubing, it kind of goes with the theme of the handlebar, of the cross brace, which are all tubular, which are in the immediate vicinity. And, if you look at a bike, especially a bike like the Scrambler, which is a vintage style bike, there's lots and lots of curves on that thing anyway. It's a very sensual, curvy form. So introducing tube, I think, is a totally tubular concept. Mm-hmm. What say you, Bagel?
I think that's a good fit.
I mean, the thing is, Bagel, you deal with machines that are styled to the max.
Yes.
I mean, motorcycles are beautiful, but they tend to be beautiful because of the function. It's kind of, the function brings beauty. Mm-hmm. Scooters are slightly different because they're styled very much on the line of cars, that they've got this monocoque that gives you kind of free rein to do whatever you want. Is it the small frame Vespa that's got the giant hips?
Well, no, not the small frame. That's the what's called the wide body. Those are the 50s Vespas.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at that, somebody has put so much love and attention and probably bodily fluids into that design.
Quite possible.
It's a very, very sensual design. Mm-hmm. And it's designed for the sake of design.
It is. There are practical aspects to it, but it definitely had a very sculpted sculpted design that was meant to evoke, a passion for the vehicle.
Right.
It's just something I don't know how people, like, you can't go take metal shop as an adult I wish this is something that people
You
could.
can at the community college, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe that's the take of all this. If you fancy yourself as a bike builder, or you see yourself as somebody who'd like to build a bike in their future, check out the local community college. Take a welding class. Take a metal shop class. Get back down to basics. Get down to fundamentals. How do you glue two pieces of metal together?
You weld it.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, maybe I'm just proud of the fact that things that I learned as a kid, I still apply today, and I put in that extra care to finish it out and smooth the edges and use a file. And I just wanted to share that.
I'm proud to learn that things I learned as a child I still apply today.
How to get bubblegum out of your hair?
There is that, and every time
That's a hard one.
Every time I go poo-poo, I demand candy.
Oh, my.
That's why you were yelling in the bathroom.
That's right.
Oh, I wondered what it was.
Can I have some candy?
Oh, my word. So, guys, I have a problem I need your help with.
Uh-oh. Do you need candy?
Well, kind of.
Okay.
All right, so here's the deal. I am emotionally prepared to sell the Africa Twin.
Okay.
It's an amazing, beautiful bike. I'm just
you've never
utilizing it.
taken to it, and I will stand by that statement.
That's not true. I mean, we took lessons, and I just discovered I'm not really into big bike adventure riding, because when the bike falls over, it is a huge ordeal to get it back up.
And since you bought that bike, you've been grumbling about pushing it around. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, Liza. It just ain't your bike. And I don't think it's ever been your bike.
Oh, no. I'm very attracted to that bike.
It's a very good looking bike.
I'm very proud to own that bike. It's a very
That's
cool
not what
bike.
I said.
Also,
It's a lot of bike.
I was really, I want...
You wanted to date it, not marry it.
The reason that I got it is I wanted to experience DCT and fully understand it.
Yeah.
That was the purpose of that, and I did, and I think that Honda nailed it with the DCT.
Oh, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's like there's this magic little Japanese man in the engine, and he's reading your thoughts, and it's like time change gear, and he's like, okay, click, click, up and down. It's amazing. It's like, have you ridden one of these things, baby?
Yes, I rode Liza's.
It's magic. It is magic. It really is.
Mr. Roboto in the transmission.
So,
Omologato, Mr. Roboto.
that means I'm going to have an empty spot in my garage.
Oh, God.
God forbid.
Oh, God.
God forbid.
God forbid. So, of course, when you sell one, you get another one.
Well,
right?
no, hang on. You're selling two, aren't you?
I'm ready to let go of the KZ400. If anyone is looking for a
I might be a player on that
1976 KZ400.
I might be a player on
Okay.
that. Well, we'll talk down the road. We might do a bit of wheeling and dealing.
Yeah. Oh, like a trade?
Maybe.
Oh, because you know that one is the more rarer of them.
Yeah, because it's drum brake kickstart only.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that little peckerhead.
Yeah, it's a cool bike. I've just left it. I drained it and just left it sitting there to look pretty. But the Africa Twin, I figure I can get about 10 grand. Hey, if anyone's interested in buying an Africa Twin.
It's a glorious bike. It's
really low mileage. I think I might have 5,000 or 6,000 miles.
Oh, wow.
And it's in my
not much.
opinion, it's the best color scheme
Oh, it's beautiful. So
It's red, white, and blue.
with the gold wheels.
but here's
And Corbin seat.
Yeah.
well, I'm going to put the stock seat on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. Liza,
That was an $850
stock
seat.
sells.
Yeah,
Stock.
I'm going to put
get
the
it back.
stock
to
seat.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I need another bike, but I don't need another bike. So I've got the scooter, which I use regularly. I've got the KTM 990 SMT, which is my sport/touring bike that I love dearly. I've got the KTM 690 Enduro. That is my trail dirt bike, right? And then I've got the Triumph Scrambler, which is my backup bike / loaner bike,
Rental bike,
whatever.
Twisted road bike.
It's just an all-around basic street bike.
Well, What about the Honda ADV scooter that you keep talking about?
So,
Oh, yeah.
that one, that's not worth 10 grand.
Or an Italjet.
Is that what they're asking for it?
No, that's not worth 10 grand. It's only like 5 or 6.
Means she has to
Okay.
spend 10 grand.
I got a 10 grand budget.
Buy two.
Yeah, exactly.
So, because the ADV scooter is so similar to, I have my 250 Elite
Right.
that I use regularly.
Yeah.
But what I'm looking for, and I realized when I started thinking about this, there is a list of bikes that nobody needs.
Yes.
Nobody needs these bikes,
Okay.
but you want to say you've owned it and check that box. For example, one of the bikes on my list is a Yamaha VMAX,
Oh, yeah.
right?
It's
Yep.
and you know what? Having ridden many of them, I never actually owned one. I got close on a couple of occasions, and it was just circumstance. A Yamaha VMAX is your crazy uncle, who is incredibly good fun to hang out with. And if there's a Christmas party when all the relatives are there, you hang out with him because he's the fun one. But when he comes to live with you, that's something a little bit different.
All right, who can find a VMAX in this room? First one to find one. Let's see.
I've seen them before.
Yeah.
I know they're in here.
But no, VMAX is
There's about 1,000 motorcycle models
it's
in
a
here.
perfect
Oh, I thought
example.
there should be one behind Bagel somewhere. Nope. So that's a bike that nobody needs.
Oh, it's right behind. There you go. It's right behind Stumpy's
Oh
head.
yeah, there's one right there.
Yeah, there it is.
Nobody needs one, but you want to experience it, right?
Right.
So I've got a couple other bikes, but I'm looking for suggestions.
All right, I've got one.
Okay.
Go on then.
I'm thinking you need a one of the Kawasaki triples, like an H3 or H4.
So I'm not that interested in a vintage bike. It won't be ridden enough, but I'm not going to rule it out. That is definitely on many people's you don't need
Right.
this, but you want to check that box.
Right. Exactly. Well,
So you're in the right area.
I'm going to offer my suggestion.
Oh yeah,
Which you'll need quite a lot more money for.
H2, yeah.
You'll need a lot more than 10 grand for this. And it coincidentally is one of my favourite bikes, the NR 750.
Oh, there's one of those here too.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Is that one?
Yep,
Green?
the green one.
Yeah.
And there's a red one at the end.
Yeah.
The problem is with the NR 750 is, well, there's no problems with it really, but it is 90s. It's really 80s technology, late 80s technology, and it's beautiful. It's beautifully made, and it's a stunningly beautiful bike. But as a motorcycle, it rides like a stout Interceptor. So is a stout Interceptor worth... What are they going for now? What does Iconic sell their NR750s for now? 50, 60?
Oh, gosh.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, they're up there.
So here's the one thing. I'm going to take sport bikes off the list. I've been there. I've done that. I've had them. I don't enjoy getting into that riding position.
What about
anymore.
nakeds?
What you got, Bagel?
How about a different type of scooter?
Like
Piaggio BV 500?
A Beverly?
500.
Yeah, that's the 500cc scooter that Piaggio made. It's kind of a beast. It's a big wheel scooter. It has a big engine. Its top speed is something like 96 miles an hour or something like that, I think.
God help us.
It hauls.
Sold in America?
Yes, they're
Good
available.
Lord.
I don't know if they're still
That's
being
kind of cool
made.
looking, actually.
It would be used, but you can find them, for not a lot of cash and with, relatively good shape. And Sleepy used to own one, and he loved it. He absolutely just was blown away by it.
I would say, I don't think that's going to be in the 10,000 range. I think
Maybe not.
Italjet Dragster
Yeah.
Now there's that. That's
is
a
in the
possibility,
10,000
too.
range.
And you
Yeah.
can buy those here?
And that, nobody needs an Italjet Dragster, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put Italjet Dragster as the scooter that nobody needs, but I may want.
I have another suggestion if I'm not treading on John.
Well, I've got one, but you can go.
No, you go. You're next, darling.
Well, I'm staying in the classic line. Sorry. I'm thinking of a water buffalo.
Yeah, again, I'm not really interested in a vintage bike. They just don't have that much of a pleasurable ride to me, the riding experience, unless you had one and you're reliving it, which I did with the KZ400.
Right.
I got that running. I rode it once, and I went, that was fun, and I put it away.
There you go.
But I will tell you, another one on my list, a Goldwing. Now, I've never had one, and that is a unique experience, wouldn't you say, Emma?
Oh, yes. If you decide to pull the trigger on a Goldwing, we should talk, because all Goldwings are not created equally.
True.
Right.
But
again, that is something I think everyone should check off that list.
They're quite something, you know.
Oh, I would love to just get on that and just go cruising down one.
I have the perfect $10,000 bike for you.
What's that?
That nobody needs. Beaking.
Beaking, is that the
That's the Suzuki.
is it like a naked Gixxer?
It's like nothing else. It's an odd thing. I'm told by the cognoscenti they are quite good bikes, but it's quite gruesome.
So, Street Fighter style.
Would you say it's Street Fighter?
That's what...
So like it, Batmobile?
That's what Wikipedia says.
Okay.
So, I would say this is like a more modernish version of a VMAX-ish.
I think it occupies a similar space.
It's not doing anything for me.
Yeah, okay.
All right, what about a Road King?
I've had one.
Oh, you had Road King?
Yeah, she's at Road King.
I've had one. Loved it. Check that box.
Oh,
all right,
I got
so
one.
there is one James found for sale nearby.
Oh?
A CBX with the fairings.
Oh, CBXB.
I like the CBX with the fairings. I think there's one behind you.
Yeah, the Unitrack. Yeah, and I mean, they're just...
And they're asking like 12 grand for it.
Yeah, and you'd get that for 10. The naked ones, the early ones, the 79s, are just fetching just ridiculous amounts of money now. So the only way you're really going to get into a CBX is with the Unitrack one. And they are quite good bikes. My only concern with you, Liza, and that bike is if it's not being used regularly, you've got to be so diligent about those
6 carbs. Yeah.
Carbs plugging up.
All right, I got one.
Okay.
Indian Scout.
Those have been coming up as a possible. Yeah, there's or an FTR.
I don't know if you can get one for 10.
I mean,
10K.
an FTR would be cool.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm probably going to upset a couple of people, but this bloody car alarm going. Yeah, what do you have to say about that? From my experience, because, you know, I don't deal in hearsay, I deal in experience. And a very, very dear friend of mine and a regular down at the shop, David, bought a brand new FTR, and he had a very, very poor experience with the bike. And a very poor experience with Indian Corporate as well.
Bummer.
So it's just... I would love to hear about people who are having great experiences with Indians, and I think they're drop-dead gorgeous, and I think they're a really, really cool alternative to a Harley. But David's experience with his Indian was very, very bad, and Indian didn't follow through.
So I'll tell you another bike, and again, this is a bike. I want to get back onto the track of bikes you just want to check off the list that you owned. A Ural with sidecar.
Urinal.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not high on my list, but it's on a list of, I have to have one of those one day.
They are quite heavy duty.
And if you get one, you definitely need to take that on some back roads.
So, so here's my promise to you, Liza. So I still have ties to the Jameson Museum in Pacific Grove, and they have a Ural. 2-wheel drive with reverse. And I'm recommissioning it in the next month or so. So when it is recommissioned, you can come down to Mototown and ride it around the parking lot and get it out of your system. And you can actually, I have a little piece of off-roading that you can do on it because it is two-wheel drive. So if you want to ride it off-road backwards, because the reverse on it, the way the reverse works on it, it's just a splitter. So you've got 4 forward gears and 4 reverse gears.
Oh, wow. That's
so
cool.
Theoretically, you could do about 70 going backwards.
As if it isn't sketchy enough riding forward.
Yes, exactly.
And I know that this is a first world problem. Like, well, I got to find another 10 grand bike.
What about a Rocket 3, a used one?
A Rocket 3 is very interesting, yes. I'm going to share with you, and I've been withholding from Emma, the number one bike on my list right now.
Go on, then.
And I think this is doable.
Oh, is there going to be steam coming out of my ears?
No. I just wanted to see if you came up with this suggestion, and you haven't. A Yamaha
Yes.
Nikon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of alternative technology.
Yes.
And the GTS 1000 and
Yes.
then the Nikon, I think, yeah, buy one. If
See?
you can
See?
find one, no,
So
buy
there's
one.
one in Bakersfield. You want to go pick it up for me?
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
Would you?
Yeah, of course I will.
And then there's a bunch on the East Coast.
Wait, if you pick it up, how are you going to fit it onto the wheel chock?
Exactly.
No, it'll go in back. No, it'll go in backwards.
Oh, okay.
I'll just put it in backwards. I'll chuck it in backwards.
So, so here's one for $9,999.
So why does it need? Why can't you just ride it back?
Because this one is in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Oh,
what about the one in Bacchus
I have to
Field?
find that one again. There's not that many out there.
Oh, I'd buy the Nikon.
This one is in Florida. This one is in Wisconsin, Kentucky.
The only gotcha with the Nikon,
Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Yeah, I'm listening.
the only gotcha with the Nikon, and it's not a concern now, but it would be a concern for me in like 4 or 5 years. Anytime you get a bike that has got standalone tire sizes, I worry, because then you become a slave to who decides to make these incredibly low volume tires. And the Nikon has 120/70 16 fronts. So you're not going to squeeze a 17 on there.
So for people who aren't familiar with the Nikon, this was an abomination. This is one of those bikes that Yamaha came out with that everyone went, how did this make it into production?
that's not a motorcycle.
And so and I still don't know why, but they put 2 front ends side by side, so 2 wheels. And so it's technically it's a trike, but it leans.
It's an MP3 motorcycle.
But it leans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I rode one.
Right.
And I rode it and I said, wow, I thought it'd feel much stiffer and slower, like moving. But it didn't. I thought it would feel like when you're trying to go from left to right, that you're having to kind of push against some sort of, I didn't know. But it dropped in into turns and it felt smooth and powerful. And I remember saying, I could see myself owning one of these one day.
It's certainly a statement bike.
And it definitely
You get a lot of looks. There's so few of them around.
Yeah, and I mean, it's you talk about Jetsons. I mean,
Right.
that's space age right there.
How many? They only made it 1 year?
Oh, I think 2. But you know, Yamaha have had a habit of doing this. If you go back, Yamaha are just like, oh yeah, we're going to do something batshit crazy.
Amorphous.
Sometimes they work and
Yeah,
sometimes
amorphous.
they don't. You know, let's talk about the GTS 1000. An amazing bike. And light years ahead of its time. I mean, you talk about a bike that was out of its time. I would love to get my hands on a GTS 1000. Talk about batshit crazy with hub center steering. But of course, it didn't sell at all. Just as the Nikon didn't. But the GTS, as peculiar as it is, it's nothing compared looks-wise to the Nikon. The Nikon is really out there. Yeah, buy a Nikon, Liza.
Do they
You're
know?
with me on that, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. But
I think you should do that too, by the way.
here's my thoughts on an Nikon.
Okay.
Buy the Nikon and then buy some tires.
Buy a gross of tires.
Buy some front tires and hide them away. And they'll get out of date, but it's better than having to scrap the bike because you can't get the tires. I really worry about who's going to be doing 120, 60, 16 tires in the future.
I can't find the one in California now. They all seem to be Kentucky and Easter than that. So I think the first step, I got to sell the Africa Twin, but if anyone knows of a Nikon out there, I think this would be a fun bike to experience and own for a while. And like I said, nobody needs it, but you want to check that off the list.
I think the range of grip that will be available to you will be absolutely tremendous, because that was the grand thought behind it. You know, the few weeks ago we were talking about the Dolomites Adventure and a ride in particular I did, where I was absolutely at the limits of adhesion with this BMW I was riding, and I really was. I was at the absolute limits of adhesion. Well, you turn the wick up on that and you've got the Nikon, because you've got 3 points of contact now. And that's everyone is terrified of the same thing. When you are absolutely at the limit in a curve. Is that a rabbit?
Yeah.
That's a Fuji rabbit.
Listed as a Kawasaki.
Sorry, I'm just checking Craigslist for a Nikon, and up came this interesting thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Kawasaki
Superflow.
Not Kawasaki. It is.
It says Kawasaki.
Yeah, that is a 1962 Fuji Heavy Industries Rabbit Superflow
For $2,000.
Not a bad price.
God, it's rough as a bear's bottom though.
Yeah, it needs some work, but
Oh yeah, you've talked about this.
What about a VMAX?
So they just listed it. VMAX was the first thing I mentioned.
No, not a VMAX. Harley, the V-Rod.
V-Rod. No thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? V-Rods are quite problematic. You know, they share a lot of components with their contemporary Harleys, but there's a lot of standalone stuff on them. And I'm not sure how committed Harley are to keeping the parts. Honestly, I think you found the answer, Liza. And I think you were right to keep it from me, because I'm all in.
Right.
And I see myself as an enabler for Liza.
Well, yeah, I guess I gotta put the Africa Twin up for sale, and then let's look for a Nikon.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Right?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
good. Yeah, this is why I was being secretive. Well, I wanted to
Freaking Nikon. Oh my God.
Well, look,
it'd be wild.
Just be careful what you wish for, because if you ride a Nikon, everywhere you go, every place you go, you will park it and have a crowd of people around it. Everywhere.
Oh yeah. Well, the Nikon was quite controversial when it came out. There's another bike that was just announced it's coming out that is also controversial. Did you guys see the new Honda Motocompo?
No.
Oh God.
Oh. I'm going to pass this over.
Oh no.
Take this. I can hand that over. Honda is brought out. So the Motocompo, for those that don't know, this came out the 80s? It was a square. Hold on. A square. Oh my God. She's seen the Picture.
Oh God.
No.
Hold on. Emma.
The Moto Compacto.
Explain the Motocompo to people.
I'm not sure if I can.
It's like a Samsonite with a...
So,
Yeah.
So the concept of the Motocompo...
Because we didn't really have it here. I think it was just in the UK.
No, it's just Japan.
No, it's
Japan.
and it was...
Maybe in the UK.
Well, they sold it in the UK, but not
By itself.
by itself.
Right, it's with the car.
So
The City, was it
Honda
called?
City, yep.
The Honda
Yeah.
City.
So in Japan, you bought this subcompact car called the Honda City. And in the trunk came a very, very compact, lightweight motorcycle that you could lift out of the trunk, open up the handlebars, open up the seat, and ride. It was basically like riding a suitcase.
Yeah.
But a perfect solution to inner city problems. And I really want to talk about this because when I was in Germany for the Dolomites tour, you know, we pick up the bikes in Germany, and we spend a couple of days in Germany either end. And I spend a lot of time on these Lime scooters and these Tier scooters. Mm-hmm. That is a perfect example of an alternative way of getting around the city.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ownership. It's easy. It's quick. It's the easiest thing in the world. And I really think...
So they're like the scooter rentals you get in San Francisco?
Yes,
you just
exactly.
jump on them
and
drop
everybody
them
grumbles about them, but they're an amazing way of getting around the city.
That's cool.
Yeah. So... hence, the original Moto Compo was part of this. It's a great way of getting around. If no one's ever been to Tokyo, Tokyo is an amazing place, but it's probably one of the most congested cities in Europe.
You can't find the cars anymore.
Right.
But these scooters, scooters, have become highly collectible. And I think Phil owns like two, maybe, right?
So in England, it was a gimmick. And if you bought... the Moto Compo came out. I was working for Honda UK at the time, and it was right when but Acuras weren't sold in England as Acuras. They were sold as Honda Sterlings. Very, very high-end car, you know, lots of wood and leather and whatever. But it wasn't in America, it was an Acura, but in England, it was a Sterling. In England,
wasn't Sterling another brand also?
Yeah, and Rover. You know, it was a tie-in with Rover. But anyway, as a gimmick, they included one of these in the trunk. So if you bought one of these cars, with very, very high-end cars, kind of Jaguar money, they threw in one of these things in the trunk if you wanted it. And of course, you know, the kind of people who bought those kind of cars, I mean, there were attorneys and doctors. They didn't want to...
they didn't care about that.
They didn't care about that. So, you know, it didn't have many takers in England, but they were out there. But tiny little thing. I mean, you know, the turn signals on it were like Werther's originals. I mean, tiny. But this thing, oh, God almighty.
So, this Moto Compos are highly collectible, but they're weird-looking little square... basically scooters. So Honda's announced
this looks like a mobile phone,
coming out with the Moto Compacto, which is the electric version. Bagel, can you describe it? I mean, we're saying a suitcase with wheels, but
yeah, this really does look like a suitcase, like a really thin
Samsonite,
like a real thin suitcase.
No, it looks like a mobile phone.
Yeah, like a very large mobile phone, the size of a suitcase.
It's got similar dimensions to a mobile phone,
Yeah, it's got two little wheels that looks like the rear wheel kind of pops out the back. Now, it has a electric hub motor in the front.
Surely you mean a hub.
So it will pull you along, apparently.
Front-wheel drive!
It has handlebars that pop up and a seat that pops up. But the whole thing looks like it stows into this little suitcase case that you can just stick in the trunk of your car. It seems kind of odd because it's very tall and thin, but with the seat extended, the dimensions really seem like they're fairly similar to the original Moto Compo of like the wheels and handlebars and such. So it's a little bit of a strange look to it, but
Bagel, do you want one?
You can get one.
I would certainly like to try one.
What it says is it's going to be released in November 2023 at MSRP of $995.
What?
Yeah.
$995.
Yeah, Honda and Acura dealers.
So, but it has a range.
What? How? It's $1,000.
Well,
That's what it says right here. Well,
right, but it has a range of 12 miles. It's a little limited.
it's good for around town, though.
Yeah,
And that's the whole thing for around town transportation. So let's extrapolate that 12 miles.
Hold on. Bagel's got a...
Max speed is 15 miles per hour. Like, that's bike lane territory.
Right.
And, okay.
So let's go
It's
back.
cheaper than an electric bike.
Let's go back to Emma tooling around Munich on an electric scooter.
Yeah.
Perfect way of getting around a big city, just as this would be. Now, that's a little quicker, because the Lime scooters are governed to 20 kilometers an hour, which is 12 miles an hour. This does 15.
Didn't you crash that thing?
Yeah, I wadded hard. Last day, I wadded hard. I was racing Brian Honeycutt, and he took the outside line. I took the inside, got the back wheel caught in the curb, went down like a sack of potatoes, and I had to sit on the grass and have a little cry afterwards because I was so hurt.
Oh.
And do you know what hurt the most?
Your pride.
No, the men in the bar across the way laughing at me.
That's sad.
Meanies.
Yeah, the meanies. But they are
Kind of like when Liza laughed about your purse today.
Yes. Oh no, she thought it was the funny thing she'd ever seen. Oh
She was doubled over laughing.
Somebody, if one of her cats, because Liza has, I've got to say, Liza has just got two of the most adorable little cats. If one of your blasted cats had diarrhea in my purse, you would find it very funny, wouldn't you? Yes, you would. You know you would.
It was just you. It had just happened, and you had this look like you had been assaulted, and you didn't know where it had come from.
No.
Just like, what happened?
Why?
That's right there.
Yeah.
So the point is, this Moto Compacto,
Yeah.
I think, as an alternative of getting around town, it's going to find its place. I mean, I think you're going to need to be quite an eccentric person to actually ride around on it.
Will this be collectible?
I'm going to stick my neck out. I don't think anything made in the last 20 years is going to be truly collectible. I think
Really?
Yeah.
You never know. You never know.
I hate to say it,
But
I think,
it could be that people think that, and so all of the early electric vehicles just get tossed, and there will be like two left, and those will become super rare.
I remember
50
back in the
years from
80s and 90s, we never thought those Japanese sport bikes would be collectible.
right.
Yeah.
And
they
here
sure
you
are now.
The slingshots now.
Yeah.
But I hate to be. I really hate to sound like an old fuddy-duddy, but I don't see anything made in the last 20 years that's really going to be
That would
like...
be a great topic to talk about.
That's really going to be like,
future collectibles.
future
Yeah.
collectibles. Because it's like you pick something that would be obvious, like a Bonneville, which is, albeit a great looking
mass-produced
bike,
now.
but there's so bloody many of them, and the same applies to Royal Enfields. And then you
Like
get
999 Ducatis.
Yeah, you get the kind of quirky sport bikes, V4 Panigales maybe, but they're so fragile. I don't see them lasting that long.
Right, and that's another question
I
too.
bet you the VMAX will be.
Well, the VMAX was collectible the day it came out. And I'll tell you why. Because there was nothing like... I still remember the launch in 85. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? All of us did.
Saw it in the magazines. I was like, oh my God.
And I saw it in the magazine. And I thought, dang!
Yeah.
And then I saw one in the flesh. And I'm like, my God, this thing is incredible. It's big. It was burly. I was frightened to even look at it in case it beat me up. There's that impact. And even the NR. I mean, I always, NR this, NR that.
The R9T, maybe.
No, the R9T, it's a pretty bike, but it's certainly not the prettiest cafe racer out there. And, I don't know. I really don't know.
I guess the market will tell.
Yeah, but you see, even the NR, if the NR wasn't as beautifully made as it is, would it be special? Yes, of course it's special. It's got fucking oval pistons in it.
Right.
But you can't see the oval pistons and you can't hear the oval pistons. It just sounds like a meaty Interceptor. So the only thing that really makes it stand apart is it is a good-looking bike. But God, it's so beautifully made. It's just like a jewel. But if you take that away, and even that's 30 years old now. It's over 30 years old. It's 35 years old nearly. But oh God, yeah, future collectibles. It's a tough one.
Blackbird.
But the Blackbird's 25 years old now. True. Blackbird goes back to the 90s.
Well, I wanted to continue with controversy. How do you say it, Emma?
Controversy.
Controversies. I was just looking up
Aluminium.
Motorcycle controversies. And I found something interesting. It's like, just like we were talking last week about lane splitting, right?
Mm-hmm.
A controversy, how we think that, it should be legal everywhere. But where it is in like Texas, it just made it illegal. There were a lot of people responding saying like, oh, yeah, it's way too dangerous. I would never do it, so no one should do it.
Right.
Or people saying, oh, I saw somebody bounce off a car and they took out like 20 cars' mirrors.
Yeah,
and
to lay it down.
And you just see these responses that come from a place of fear and assumption and not factual data.
Right. Yep. Right.
When there are plenty of places, California, that have banked factual data, right? That makes that it is safer.
Well, no, hang on, because at some stage, Texas got their expert. This was the whole crux of the argument from 2 years ago. You can interpret raw data however you want, and it just so happens that the people who interpreted the data in California came up with a conclusion that it is safe. Safer. The people who interpreted the data in Texas determined it wasn't safe. So the upshot of it is you need to be careful who's collecting data for you.
Yeah.
Well, it's such a... They make decisions about other things, and I won't get into it just for political reasons, but they're libertarian about some things, which there's a ton of data that supports that they shouldn't be.
Right.
But they are the one thing that's probably killing a lot less people. So it just doesn't make any sense to me.
The whole political, that is a topic.
They pick and choose. That bothers me.
But that is a topic for another podcast. Yeah. If we just confine ourselves to motorcycling, the way it works is a junior member of local government will say, look, this is something that I feel passionate about. Let's put it up for a motion, and then they'll start gathering data on it. And this is where the problem is.
Bias confirmation.
Yeah, and if you have a bias, you can certainly find people who agree. I truly think that in Texas, they just got the wrong person to interpret the data. Yeah. It's as simple as that. I don't think it was politically motivated per se. I just think at some stage, somebody they interpreted the data wrong, and they said, look, this is a dangerous pursuit, and we need to get on board with it.
Well, I wanted to share some other interesting examples that I have found of similar controversies that I didn't know about. So one of them was high visibility vests in France. What about this one?
2015.
2015. So apparently in France, and I think these were people who were do-gooders in that they said all cars needed to carry a high-vis vest in the car so that in case of a breakdown on the side of the road, you have a high-vis vest to wear. Because if you're going to be on the side of the road, you need to have a high-vis vest.
And smart. You may find that goes back to either a single incident or a chain of incidents that happened where pedestrians who were changing a tire, dealing with a broken down car, dealing with a broken down grandpa who had diarrhea by the side of the road, got mowed down in low visibility. Right. So how can we fix this?
We all used to carry flares in our cars. No one does that anymore.
How do we fix this? So somebody came up with this, and then the data was gathered. And it may have been flawed data, it may have been great data, but the data was gathered, and they should have warned you. And at the time, it was good business for all these poor hapless Brits who were going to France. They'd arrive in France.
Well, and here's the thing. In 2015, they then applied it to motorcycles.
Yes.
And so anyone just driving like from England or Germany over to France.
You had to have your high-vis vest.
You had to wear it or just have it with you?
Required to have it with you. Right. So not many motorcycles have room to store a high-vis vest, right? So that was the number one complaint. Well, this is not easy. And then people who live in other countries, they have to go buy a high-vis vest just to be able to go do for a day ride through France. But then here's where kind of the typical thing was, but we know what's coming next. They're going to start requiring us to wear them while we ride, and that we will never do. But that's how things go. People start, well, I know what's coming next.
They automatically assume.
It's a slippery slope argument.
Yeah, so what's
Slip it on down that
interesting, an organization was created. I'm going to try this. Yeah. Fédération Françoise des Motards en Colère.
That's a coalition of vest makers.
Do you know what that stands for?
Yeah, it's a federation of French motorcyclists who are on strike.
Well, it says that it means the French Federation of Angry Bikers.
Angry Bikers, yes.
Angry Bikers.
Yeah, that's right.
I can assure you that there were an extremely large amount of zut alors and sacré bleus said at the first meeting. That's a dramatic reenactment, by the way.
Ooh la la.
Yes.
So,
Oui.
so they started contesting, and what's interesting, the draw is that it is a law that is in place that no one enforces.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
So that I found that kind of interesting, but. Is it such a bad thing to wear a high-vis vest on a motorcycle?
Oh, God, yes.
Is it the worst thing in the world?
Oh, God, yes. No, I mean, no.
I'm going to say, in the UK, I saw a lot of people wearing it optionally.
Mm-hmm. It rains, though. Visibility is different.
Yeah, and I mean, well, yes. But it's back to that lane-splitting argument, is you want to have the choice. If visibility is bad, I am the first to put on my fluorescent green jumpsuit that also doubles as rain gear so you can see me. But that becomes my choice.
Yeah, but we sat here and argued a couple weeks ago about helmets, and that was my argument. Like, hey, it's your choice. If you want to bust your head out, bust your head out.
Oh, I have an argument about that too.
Right.
As long as you carry the insurance.
Oh, no, we'll be getting it. We'll be getting it.
All right.
So here's another one that was very interesting. This one happened in Australia.
Good eye, mate.
And this was in the 1970s.
Struth.
They said that in the 1970s, there was a huge boom in motorcyclists, much of it due to On Any Sunday.
Yes.
And as they say, while it was mostly Aussie farmers and dole bludgers that owned and rode bikes in the 60s, by the mid-70s, every man, woman, and dog was going at it. So they had all these bikers appearing in the 70s, which meant that accidents were on the rise, and the government felt they needed to act like they cared. So they enacted a law that upset a lot of people. You want to take a guess what it is? This is motorcyclists. A law for motorcyclists.
Top speed of 50 miles an hour.
Oh, good try. You want to take a guess, John?
I'm going to say something about gear.
Daytime running lights.
Oh.
Nasty business.
Horrible.
Daytime running lights. Exactly. And basically people were complaining that it would increase fuel consumption. It would cause wear and tear on their bikes. Riders would be continuously replacing bulbs, and riders traveling in groups would blind other motorists. These were all the reasons why they weren't having
with those blinding 6-volt headlights they had in the 1970s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Blinding yellow lights.
Yes.
They formed groups and created signs and protests, and of course we know how that went. It's now basically, I think, common around the world.
Pretty much, yeah.
To have daytime running lights. But what amused me was the reaction. And is it bikers? Is it just people don't like being told what to do?
I think it's just people.
Well, it was the same thing when they did the seatbelt laws in the U.S.
Yeah.
We all were like, no way, we're not wearing seatbelts.
Yep.
And now we all wear seatbelts.
Yep, 55 mile an hour speed limit.
Yeah.
So here's another one I found out, also from 1970. This was a big one I wasn't aware of, but apparently, Emma, you were.
Oh, yeah.
They almost banned the racing at Isle of Man.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of this,
Ooh, yeah.
Now, somebody who was just there, and I mean, it is in the DNA of everybody. Because I was actually commenting to Kat, I'm like, I find it really fascinating that the people on this island who live and work here
Right. Are all part of it.
are all part of it and accept that everything just gets shut down for these people to get on these,
Right.
bikes and whiz around
So,
town.
In my defense, I was a child at the time, but I've actually studied this period of time, and it's a fascinating period of time. So the 1970 TT was marred because there were 7 fatalities.
6 at the TT. I think one was at the Manx.
Right.
Or
But,
Yeah.
it's...
And some were spectators.
Exactly. So there was this huge outcry that the race should be stopped. And it was a period of time, it could only really have happened then, because right around sort of like 69, 70, 71, people were really figuring out how to make these things go fast. I mean, big horsepower was a thing in 1970, but brake and handling technology still wasn't there. So, hence, the bikes were going very, very fast, but really were quite ferocious. And that led to so many fatalities. Now, the decision was made to keep the race going. And the decision was based because it was so entrenched in biker culture in Europe. It was felt that if you took that away, it would have a very destructive effect on biking as a whole, because people would be getting their sort of race jollies out on the street.
And then you have more controversies.
Yeah, and there would basically it would be a very, very bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in 2016, 5 died again.
Right.
So they seem to revisit it, but like I said, as somebody who's been there, I see it's
so
such a part.
it's so entrenched in the culture.
Yeah.
And similarly enough, I mean, I do try and keep these topics on motorcycling, but if there are parallels to be drawn, I'll draw in other subjects. Does anybody in here know about the 1955 Le Mans?
Yeah.
So the 1955 Le Mans still holds the record as the worst accident in motor racing history. So the story goes, there was a lot of players involved. But the very, very short story is a veteran French driver driving an enormously powerful Mercedes smacked into the back of an Aston Martin, absolutely flat out, launched his car into the crowd of spectators.
Oh, wow.
And there were just multiple fatalities, just hundreds of injuries. Interestingly enough, they did not stop the race because they deemed that stopping the race would make it so hard for these huge fleet of ambulances to come in.
Oh, because everybody would leave, yeah.
Because everybody would leave. So then there was this huge push to stop Le Mans. It's too fast. It's too dangerous. The spectator stands are too close to the main straight. Blah, 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 blah. And yet here it is. It's still going on. And there have been safety concessions. The spectator stands have been moved back from the main track a little bit, but it's still damn scary. They're still scarily close even now. So that's another iconic race that's had these enormous controversies over the years. But
the other one I
yet
heard about was
it still remains.
the Irish road racing.
Yes.
I think they're having a hard time. It's insurance,
and
yeah.
that's what they're saying
Yeah.
will probably happen eventually with the Isle of Man. As
Well,
insurance companies
eventually,
will-
and
yeah,
this
will
is going to
cover it.
affect all forms of motor racing. And unfortunately, the motorcycling is probably going to go first, simply because of the volume. The reason why car racing will last longer is because there's a lot more money involved, as you saw with Silverstone, Liza. You saw what big business motor racing is. But eventually what's going to drive all of this is just the liability from insurance.
Yeah.
Well, it is fascinating that things like Isle of Man still happen when we have all these other things that there are fears that are unfounded and not based in facts. So I found another article that came out recently. Not an article. It's from this guy who is a doctor.
Yes.
An emergency room doctor. And he tells a story about how he had a guy come in who'd had a motorcycle crash at high speed. And other than some like abrasions and I think maybe broken bones, his head, maybe a concussion, but he was alive and recovered fine. But when he inspected the helmet, the helmet had been ground down and nothing. And he knew that he would not have survived. The helmet really made a difference. And this is a guy as a rider too. So he sees the ones that come in that he knows that the helmet saved the life, right? And I didn't realize the stat. So in his article, he says that this year at Sturgis, 11 riders died. When I did the death report, because I always check that, it was lower than that. But I think, again, they changed the numbers. Because a lot of the people aren't in Sturgis. They're riding around the Black Hills. They're riding to other places, to Deadwood. And they may not have been counting them for Sturgis.
Or there's injuries sustained at Sturgis.
Yeah, they passed away.
Then they passed away 2 or 3 days later.
Yeah.
Or they were on their way to or from.
Right. Yeah. And, it all becomes part of it.
So we know that the numbers are pretty high. And again, we talk about the Isle of Man has almost been canceled a few times because of deaths.
Yes.
Yet every year, the number is around 10 at Sturgis, which amazes me. And we talked about these accidents and how they happen. So, but oftentimes it's lack of gear, lack of helmet, which just shocks me. So he said that the risk of death for motorcyclists in crashes is 30 times greater than for car drivers and passengers.
Okay.
3/4 of all motorcycle deaths occur at low speeds, 30 miles per hour or less.
Okay.
Interesting.
Do you know why?
No gear?
Or hit by cars?
In residential areas. That is because the enemy of the motorcycle rider is not so much the ground as it is the car.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that is, the biggest thing. 80% of reported crashes result in injury from motorcycles, and about 44% of crashes are fatal.
Wow.
These huge numbers, right? And says that of all motorcycle protective gear, the helmet appears to be the most important. And here's where it gets interesting. Why should people care, right? Why can't everyone have their own right to choose? Here's the big question, right? He says, failure to wear helmets while riding a motorcycle leads to an increased incidence of severe brain injury and long-term disability, which unnecessarily costs the U.S. taxpayer billions of dollars each year. Okay? The NHTSA estimates that helmets reduce traumatic brain injury by 67% and mortality by 35%. So all but 19 states have repealed their mandatory universal motorcycle helmet laws because in 1975 they all had them, or prior to that they all had them because you had to have it if you wanted to get your funding for your highways. It was a national law. Really? That got repealed in 1975, so states were free to do what they want.
So California had helmet law before it didn't? Before it did? Helmet
law, there wasn't a helmet law
till the 90s here, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So
I think, but it may have been earlier. In 1975, well, I'm not remembering if there was one in 1975. I moved to California in 76. So I'm not sure.
I moved here in the 80s and it didn't have one. Late 80s.
No, yeah, but it might have had one prior to 1975. Yeah. So, but he says, who pays? Where does this billions of dollars? So, 2 decades, he says that basically it comes from the society, public taxes, from insurance, from
Social
whatever.
Security.
Yes.
Yeah. Because that, then everyone who ends up having to, survive off Social Security because of injuries from motorcycles, that's taken away from everybody else's Social Security a little bit.
Yeah. So he says about 2/3 of care is paid for by public funds.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's controversy, but it's interesting reading all these things and hearing how in places where they're forcing safety on people. And no, I don't want it. My headlights are going to burn out. That vest is ugly. I don't want to wear that helmet. It is quite controversial, but you know what?
Well, let me play devil's advocate here, though. I'm not disagreeing with the facts. I'm saying it's easy to get to, well, people shouldn't be riding motorcycles then. Because if it's that much of a cost on taxpayers, let's just stop motorcycle riding completely.
To me, I'll tell you the solution.
That's the extreme.
It is the extreme,
take,
but that's devil's advocate. But slippery slope.
I've long said this before. I think that things need to be tethered together. I think if states want to have lane splitting, then they should also tether that to a helmet law, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I think that there should be things with insurance companies that if you wear a helmet, you get a discount. Stuff like that. I think that there's ways to incentivize.
Well, that's probably done by the insurance companies just based on where you're located and whether or not there's a law.
Yeah, and I mean, insurance companies gather so much information from everywhere. Right?
But
come up with this outrageous figure and you will pay this. Okay.
Oh, and don't ask us for any money to pay out either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I find it fascinating, though, just people's reaction. I don't want to be told what to do, even though it's better for me and for society.
Yeah.
Which is how it plays out.
There's the leap of faith is in a lot of ways as people, and I'm not saying as people, as Americans, as motorcyclists, as Europeans, doesn't matter. But people in general can be quite selfish. And if it's for the good of society, becomes a hard sell.
But it's hard. I mean, so what about other sports? What about surfing? What about rock climbing?
Well, no, the same applies. It's the same boneheads who are, it's saying, oh, yeah, I mean, surfing, if ever a sport you should wear a helmet, is surfing, especially somewhere like Santa Cruz where there's rocks to crunch against.
So what I'm saying, so my point is like, where do we draw the line between? Are we going to eliminate anything that's any adrenaline related? Because it might cost the taxpayer money.
That seems like a pretty extreme way to go.
Yeah,
but I mean, then the question is, what price are we willing to pay for fun? Because that's kind of what we're talking about here, isn't it? I mean, these are things we do for fun. There's a risk involved, and it's a question of how we mitigate that risk. And it seems awfully stilted to say that because we can't mitigate, or people don't want to mitigate this risk, we're just going to take it away entirely.
Right.
That seems extremely heavy-handed and an overreach, really, in and of itself. So you want people to be able to do things they want to do, as long as they're not harming others, and especially and hopefully not themselves.
I mean, case in point, football.
Yeah. I mean, that's something that's been a controversy for quite a while.
Exactly. And it's still a billion-dollar industry.
Right. And people are still getting injured.
I have an idea.
What's that?
I think I have a solution. All right. I'm going to ask you a question. I know you don't know the answer, but just make up a number. How many motorcyclists are there in the U.S.?
I did know this at one time.
A cajillion.
Just make up a number.
I think there's probably 3-4 million.
Okay, 3-4 million. Times $1,000 comes to?
3 or 4 billion.
Yeah.
Which is how much we're spending every year on head injuries. So here's what I propose. Enact helmet laws in all 50 states, but every motorcyclist gets a free moto compo. We break even the first 2 years.
How much you got
to wear a helmet? You have to wear a helmet for
Emma, did you think that's a win-win?
I don't
Moto
know.
compacto.
But most injuries,
I think that's a lose-lose.
Because most injuries are at low speed anyway, right?
Okay,
Exactly.
then everyone gets an Amigo.
Oh,
that might be even more dangerous.
they should be outlawed completely.
But I understand. No, I hear you, Liza, and I think you're on the right track.
Give them something they want.
Yeah.
Let them eat cake.
exactly.
We got a lot of emails, so let's get to these. I'm going to start with the first one, and this one is from...
Well, you just said I'm going to start with
start with the last one.
Yes.
Let's start with the first one. Yeah.
Start with the last one.
No, start with the first one.
No, we should start with the last one, work our way back to the first
Okay.
All right, very good.
This one is from Mike D.
Mike D! Come on, D!
He says,
Rest in peace.
Hey, Misfits, I got
Beastie Boys.
six quick points for you.
Yes.
Number 1, the last podcast was very entertaining. Grazie. 2, glad you're back, Liza. 3, the B team did a splendid job while Liza was hobnobbing in Europe. Yes, they did. 4, Naked Jim's moto dating game voice was kind of creepy and gave me a bit of the heebie-jeebies.
Should have been in a room with him.
5, legalized lane splitting is and always be my litmus test on whether I live in any particular state.
Okay.
Nice.
Interesting. 6, not leaving California anytime soon. And 7, a possible Misfit sponsorship that includes the Isle of Man. Oh, boy.
There you go, Mike D.
All right.
So apparently, if you attend an American football game, this is for our European listeners, you will hear a lot of grown men yelling, "Come on, D," at top voice. No, apparently that's the
true.
thing.
It is true.
Yes. That's apparently the thing to yell at an American football game.
Did I tell you?
I feel sorry for
There's so many jokes there.
I one time went to the Alabama college game, Alabama, University of Alabama.
Were the people yelling, "Come on, D"?
No. And this is like, it's big. Like,
Yes. Okay.
college football is big.
Yeah.
The marching band was so big, I counted 52 tubas.
Wow.
This was huge. The stadium was full, and the crowd kept chanting, "Roll Tide! Roll Tide!" And I'm like,
Who's Todd?
I turned to somebody and said, "Who is Todd, and why do they want to roll him?" And Emma doesn't know why this is funny, because they are the Crimson Tide, but in Alabama,
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. I really thought it was a guy on the field, and I kept trying to read the names on their jerseys. Like, who's Todd, and why does everyone hate him?
On a similar note, when I was at school, when I was very small, I thought there was this child called Woby. Because, and his last name was Tide, because the teacher would always say, "Woe betide the boy who does this," or "Woe betide the girl who does this." And I genuinely thought there was this child called Woe betide.
I've never heard that concept.
No, and I mean, that's what teachers say.
Woby?
No, woe betide. That's the kind of things that teachers say.
It's British teachers.
That's British teachers say that.
When I was a kid,
But I thought there was this child called Woby.
When I was a kid, there was a kid in my class with a speech impediment who I later found out his name was Cow, but I thought his name was Cow. I called him Cow for the first year.
There you go.
Move over, Cow.
Anyway, all right, who's got it? John, you got one there?
I do. This is from my Pakistani brother David in Atlanta. He says, "Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Why do people wrap their headers / exhaust with Kevlar? Do most people do it for a functional reason or just for looks? What is the downside of doing this, or is it just for looks?" So I will answer this, and Emma can correct me. Back in the day, on motorcycles specifically, they would wrap them in muffler tape or Kevlar, whatever, just so you didn't burn yourself.
Asbestos, probably.
But you don't need it anymore today. It's just for looks. And the problem is that water will get in there and soak into the muffler tape and will rot the headers itself.
But at the time,
Is that right?
Performance bikes, you wanted to keep the headers hotter?
Yeah. So if you read Smokey Unick's book, How to Get Speed Out of Anything, if you want the ultimate speed, you want the combustion chamber temperatures high, and the way you keep your combustion chambers temperatures high is by containing heat within the exhaust. So by wrapping them, theoretically,
Insulating them, basically.
there's a problem. And the problem is most Japanese and European bikes, have double-skinned exhaust. And so by wrapping them, you're actually not doing a great deal.
Some are even triple-walled now.
Yeah, right, to keep bluing to a minimum. So you're not really doing much, but it's kind of that little nod. It's that little nod back to cafe racer culture back in the old days.
And choppers, yeah.
And yeah, ploppers.
And also one thing that I've heard about that is that because you're keeping the heat in the exhaust pipe, that concentrated heat will end up fatiguing the metal faster over time.
Right.
In addition to the possibility of water getting in.
It's simple. It is the cafe racer in that it was intended for performance purposes and racing, but has now just become an aesthetic.
Right. And funnily enough, back in the day of Triumphs and Tridents and Nortons and BSAs, we didn't have the tape. You'd put springs on the exhaust. You put large diameter springs over the downpipes to keep that heat in. But interesting enough, something has just come to me, is 2 strokes, you get a secondary burn of the unburnt oil in this exhaust, which is why 2-strokes smoke less when they're hot than when they're cold. So if you wrap the exhaust and you actually get the temperature up in the exhaust, you could probably get the smoke down on a 2-stroke. Yeah. You're getting a real hot secondary burn on the oil. That's interesting. Yeah, lovely jubbly.
You have one there, Emma, from Tucker. I'd love for you to read.
From Tucker?
Yeah.
Oh, here we are. From Tucker.
Hey, do you know who that is?
Yes, I know who this is. Long time no see. This is Tucker getting in touch from Portland, Oregon, where the tail end of a wonderful US motorcycle adventure begins. Hope you are doing well. I've been missing the garage a lot. I was in lab monster mode wrapping up time-sensitive experiments for a couple of months before leaving. Looking forward to catching up and wrenching with everyone after what sounds like a super eventful summer. Every year I fly into ND. Where's ND?
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Minot.
Is it Minot? Okay.
Why not?
To work for my cousin and uncle. I supplement their crow during harvest as a combine operator and general do what's needed guy. See attached photos for scale. These vehicles are literally 2 stories tall. These combine harvesters they have out there are just enormous. They farm over 10,000 acres of wheat, canola, beans. Give me the beans, darling. And C, with only a 4-man team. This year, motorcycle content. Get to the motorcycle content. I put touring biased shoes on the T7 and planned a beautiful link-up through the Northwest and Midwest states. Outside of practically running sideways in the wind across Nevada and the salt flats of Utah to stay on the dry side of the storm system, the trip has supported so many smiles per mile. The curves on Sonora Pass, riding on muleback through Eastern Sierra
Sonora Pass is great.
With Partners Mule Team, picking up my dad in SLC for a midway mini road trip to see the wild horses living on Pilot Butte in Wyoming, and through the awe-inspiring Wind River Canyon, and then from North Dakota to Portland, inverting Clark's return journey, he and Lewis split up through Montana. Anyway, I wanted to say hi and update you, but I really wanted to say a thank you. No doubt this trip has changed my life, and the garage is at the root of what made it possible.
Cool.
Emma probably doesn't remember this, but she gave me the moto therapy I needed to let go of my first bike. It was an 80s XS650 that I've been struggling to keep alive on a student budget since 2013. Since then, the people I've met at the Recycle Garage helped set the foundation for this trip, e.g. teaching me how to change a tyre in a pinch or after one, practicing solid street skills with Micah at Z2,
cool, and
showing me how to ride in the dirt and gravel. Can't get to rural North Dakota on paved roads. Knowing you all has helped me become a well-rounded motorcyclist. This is a true gift. Thank you, thank you. See you soon, and all the best, Tucker.
Ah.
And he's included some lovely pictures of him with combine harvesters. And I know they're John Deere's, and you know how I know they're John Deere's.
Are they green?
They're green with yellow wheels.
There's somebody who built a John Deere themed Vespa once.
Oh.
Did you really?
Yes. Not me, but somebody did.
Yeah, Tucker's a good egg.
Yeah.
All right, Bagel, you got one there?
I do. I have an email from Matthew Schuler,
Hey, numbnuts.
a.k.a. Numbnuts Matt.
Yeah.
And he writes, "Hello, Misfits. Numbnut Matt's reporting from SoCal. I am on a road trip from the Bay Area for a weekend in L.A. Temperatures were in the 60s and 70s the entire way Friday, mostly sunny and negligible wind. Highway 1, aka Pacific Coast Highway, is closed right in the middle of Big Sur, so I had to take 101 most of the way south.
Still, it's a nice ride.
Mm-hmm. The roads were in excellent condition, traffic was mostly light to moderate, and the views through California's Garden Patch were phenomenal. Hills and mountains on either side, quaint and interesting agricultural towns, and beautiful blue skies all the way to the coast. Coming over the hill and around the bend at Pismo Beach and seeing the coastline stretch out in front of you is always amazing. Crazy traffic along 101 serendipitously forced my navigation app to route me along California State Route 154, also known as the Chumash Highway and the San Marcos Pass. This stretch of road through the mountains north of Santa Barbara is absolutely gorgeous and a fun, engaging ride. Plenty of hills and twisties combined with nice stretches on which to open up the throttle. This old stagecoach route skirts the south side of Lake Cachuma and winds through Los Padres National Forest. I was very pleased with this detour. Highlight of the trip so far.
Nice.
FYI, my 2002 VFR 800 has become my favorite bike that I've ever owned. It absolutely loves touring at a brisk pace and does everything and anything I needed to do. What an amazing machine.
They are.
Finally, a quick word about the potential Team Bagel.
Aha.
I want in.
So, Bagel, and this is in reference to?
Yes, this is in reference to Phil's
Iron Buddy.
Yeah, the Iron Buddy or 24 hours of Buddy.
Have you heard about this, Emma?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah, the Cleveland Moto gang.
Yes. Yeah. It's basically a 24-hour
Well, he's
ride.
switching teams because he was Team Cleveland Moto for...
Yeah, we got his helmet up there.
Oh, yeah. So, he says, as the incumbent endurance contest co-champion among the Motorcycles and Misfits community, I bring proven stamina and discipline to the table. I've got experience on the Honda Elite 50 and Yamaha Zuma. I know how to wrench. Plus, I owe it to you guys to take a feather out of the Cleveland Moto cap. If the stars align, let's make it happen. All the best, Numbnuts Matt.
All right, so Bagel.
Yeah.
You've now got a teammate on the team that we don't even know if you are doing or have been invited to do.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
Well, I think we need to talk about this. This is something that is a I think is has the potential to be a really fun and kind of thrilling event because, like I've always said, it's fun to ride slow bikes fast, and this is a 24-hour endurance event on buddy scooters. We don't know yet where this is going to be or when exactly. And I've not yet talked to Phil. I tried to reach out to him, haven't heard back yet, but I'm going to try to get a hold of him this week and talk about this because I think this would be something would be really fun to do.
So you want to do this?
I would like to do this.
Do you want so you need to create a team?
Yeah, we would need to have a team. I think four riders is what we would need.
So you already have one.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got two.
One teammate.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we need two more people. I don't know.
Okay, stay tuned, Matt. Stay tuned.
Let's see.
So, do you want people to write in if they're interested in joining Team Bagel?
I want to form a team. I want to do this. I would like to encourage people to form their own teams, but we will talk amongst ourselves and figure something out.
Because you got cannonballers.
I know some people. I haven't talked to anybody.
So you got
yet.
some sandbagging you could do, right?
I haven't talked to anybody yet.
Okay.
But I could come up with some ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Well, good.
And I would also, I don't know if I mentioned before, I've also done a 24-hour scooter race before.
Ooh.
Yes.
Emma, we're running out of time. I want to make sure you get to that one that you have in your hand.
Yeah, I would like to read this because I suspect it's been playing on Carlos's mind. Hi, Misfits. I just finished your latest podcast, which was number 539 already. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
I need to apologize. I should not have disrespected and denigrated the comments and viewpoints made by Naked Jim, Miss Emma, Bagel, and anyone else. I let my frustration with the AMA get the best of me. I should follow the example you guys set in your responses to my email. That is, I should have expressed my viewpoints without being condescending. I think all of you guys are great and wish I was much more light-hearted and jolly like you guys are. Ho, ho, ho. AKE, I need to take more chill pills. As always, keep up the great work. This is from Carlos Fernandez. He's in Seattle, Washington, and he's formerly from New York. Carlos, everybody brings something to the table, and the passion that you carry within your heart for motorcycling and the frustration you feel with behemoth organizations like the AMA, it's as much a part of you as the color of your hair and the color of your eyes. Don't apologize for it. I don't think you came across as condescending. You came across to me as somebody who's deeply frustrated.
Passionate, too.
And passionate,
Yeah.
and correctly so in a lot of ways. My argument with the AMA, to me, it's like a marriage. You're never going to find the perfect person. And if you go into a marriage with somebody saying, well, they're great, but if I can just change this about them, it's going to end very, very badly. You accept and love somebody and bring them into your life, faults and all. The AMA is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
A lot of what I hear coming out of the AMA, particularly on the magazine side, is enough to make my blood boil and grind my teeth. But there's sufficient in there that makes me still want to support it. And let's be real at the moment. There is no alternative.
Right.
There is nobody else lobbying Washington on our behalf. So until that time, they can be my voice in Washington. But I accept your apology. Yeah. Thank you so much. You sound like a really, really good cat. Just remember, this frustration and this passion you feel about the sport is part of your strength.
And it's valid.
And it is valid. And he says, I think all of you guys are great. Well, we think you're great too.
Yep.
Tra-la-la. How about that?
He's all right.
Yeah.
Real quick, we got 2 more emails that are very short. Just want to make sure that everyone knows. First off, the Central Coast Classic Motorcycle
Oh, yeah, on
show
the 30th, yeah.
is on the 30th.
Yeah, it's
Mike and I went a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show. You know, they hold it on the south side of town as you go through San Luis Obispo. There's this great old building up on a hillside. You can see it right by the freeway.
It's at a church.
Is it now?
When we went a couple years ago, yeah, it was in a parking lot of a church.
It might be at a church now, but back in the day, it was the old KSBY building,
okay.
which was before that was a nightclub. But it's a good show, and there's a lot of very, very high-quality bikes down there.
I got Gene Romero's autograph last time I went there.
Yeah, he's a regular.
It's like a 3-hour ride from here, so I'd consider it.
Yeah.
Then also, do you know about, they just announced November 11th, the Scotts Valley Motorcycle Swap Meet.
Ooh.
No, Emma didn't know about that. I'll send that to you, Emma.
Interesting.
You should know about that.
Well, I shall be out of the country, I think.
While you're looking at that, John, real quick,
Yep.
you got to visit a cool place this week.
Yeah, I did. I was in LA for work and I had a couple hours to kill, so I went over to the bike shed in LA. It's south of the downtown, and it is it is awesome. So there's one in London that Liza has been to.
Yeah,
so this is
there.
the U.S. component of the one in London. It's a massive kind of vintage-looking building on the inside. It's in a little industrial area, and it has classic motorcycles, custom and classic motorcycles all throughout the place, just kind of sitting there. It has a full bar, a full restaurant. It has a barber shop, a tattoo parlor, and a store. So,
all the things you could possibly want.
Yeah, it's
as
freaking cool.
A store that sells like gear, but also like hipster clothing, cool stuff. You know,
so cool. I mean, it's an amazing place. It's so worth going to.
Okay.
Well, and it's brought up. We need to start planning our LA trip.
Yeah, you and me need to.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stay.
You can't let the boys come?
No.
Why not?
Because, don't you remember Bedtime with Liza and Emma on the Queen Mary?
I know. That was fun.
Is the Queen Mary open again?
Bagel, you want to take a trip to LA?
Stop. We can let the boys come.
No, actually, no. We'll let the boys come, but we need to do the LA trip because I love the scene down there. It's
yeah, we need to put that together.
Yeah.
I want to go back to iconic motorcycles.
Yeah, have a
Wanna
chat with those
visit
guys.
The bike shed.
Yes.
Go back to the Peterson Museum.
Yes.
Because Barber's doing a display there. Of
All the
bikes.
things.
So yeah,
You-
we're working on it.
Deus Ex Machina.
Deus Ex Machina,
Ex Machina.
and you can go get a sandwich there. What's those sandwiches that they put together?
Panini.
A panini. Yes. Well, Bagel, so glad that you were
Yeah, so
here.
fun.
Yeah,
Glad
lovely
it was
seeing
able-
Bagler in the flesh.
Yeah, I was glad.
I like
was
it
able
when
to
you're
come
here
by.
because then you can actually see how many scooters I have put into this room.
Yes, I
and
see.
I think of you when I get them. And there's two that I wanted to make sure you saw that are up in that corner. We'll get there in a second.
Okay.
But they are here. You were represented.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
I want to say something before we
Okay.
close, and I've been meaning to say it for a couple of weeks.
I forgive you. Oh no. This is,
Well, it's
okay.
one of the people that I was on the Dolomites tour with, Ken Byrne, is a lovely man, and he sent a lovely little care package of like a gazillion friggin' little plastic ducks, and we'll talk about
Yeah.
yes. So you know about the ducks, but he's got this daughter who I haven't met, who makes these fantastic earrings, and I've got some lovely, lovely earrings. So thank you for the care package, Ken. It's very, very sweet of you. I love everything within it, and we'll talk about the method of distributing these ducks another time. But the idea being is you find a priceless artifact in a museum and put a fucking plastic duck on it, and then leave.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, no, and I mean that was basically the method of his trip.
Dozens of going nuts around the world.
So yeah, I mean we let the cat out of the bag now. In
Or
fact,
the duck out of the pond.
yes, or the duck out of the pond, as it were. So there you go. So cheers, Ken.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. Bagel, you're heading back.
Later this week, yeah.
Yeah. Emma, are you already gone to TikTok videos?
Well,
Like you couldn't wait 2 seconds.
No, there's one with a cat, and I didn't mean to go there. You know what I'm with these
Oh, my
TikTok cat videos? I'm sorry. Did you hear it go meow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You're,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm like, it's cat.
we're
They're
closing
cute.
up now. Just hang with us.
Well,
we're
I'm
almost
not
done.
sure if I can.
All right. Big thanks to all of our listeners.
Big
Yeah.
squelchy love.
And we have more emails we didn't even get to. I think we're going to save these for next week. So
I think we should.
yeah. There's people have been sending us ride reports. Thank you very much. And if you have
And we asked for that. We said, get out
Yes.
and ride your fucking bike and send us a report. And those that did, God, thank you.
and if anyone would like to trade a Nikon for an Africa Twin,
Call Liza.
call me.
Or a Moto Compacto times 10 for an Africa. If you have 10 Moto Compactos and you want an Africa Twin,
And you wire them all together.
actually, it'd be like
Stack
a
'em on each
chariot.
other, yeah.
No, you could be like a chariot race. You could have 10 Moto Compactos doing 15 miles an hour, and you sit in a chariot behind it. It'd be brilliant.
She could turn them into a choo-choo train and
So,
go choo-choo.
I didn't tell you, but
Because it's Liza's right to choo-choos.
you know the company that I bought the Amigo from.
Yes.
They have a Moto Compo knockoff.
Oh, really?
A
Oh,
Japanese Moto Compo.
Oh, no.
That I've been resisting.
Oh.
You should.
But maybe Bagel can't resist. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, especially to our Patreon subscribers.
Who are easily the finest human beings on the face of the
Yeah,
earth.
you guys are the
Maybe
best.
in the galaxy.
So keep the emails coming.
Yeah.
And if you have a bike that you would recommend to me, that is a bike nobody needs, but everyone should check that off the list, email us at motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com.
And please keep the ride reports coming in because it's still riding season. I know the nights are getting shorter. I know up in the north it's fall is coming in. But there's still some bitching riding. Ride your fucking bike and tell us about
Yep.
it.
There you go. And go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com, and you can find all of our links there.
Yes.
Some of our favorite things.
Yes.
And we gotta start creating the calendar for next year.
Yes.
Oh, so much to do.
Yes.
All right.
Do you want to ride down to San Luis Obispo?
For the show next weekend?
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
You interested, John?
Maybe I got to check with Miss Stumpy.
No, it's 2 weeks, isn't it? It's 2 weeks, isn't it?
No, it's next weekend.
Is it really?
Yes.
No, it's not.
It's the 30th. What is today?
Today is the
17th.
17th.
Okay,
It's
I'm
2
wrong.
weeks, you nut.
Sorry. So 2 weeks. Yeah.
Time does
let's
fly
talk
by,
about
though.
that.
Let's go
talk-
down.
Okay, cool. Ready to get out of here, everyone?
Yeah.
Right. Thanks, everybody. This is Liza,
Stumpy John.
Emma, darling,
Bagel.
and we are out of here.
give it the beans.
Give it the cool beans.